Hello children. So every time we are discussing maths, right? So in this chapter we are going to see the application of maths. Okay. So application of maths means immediately you will think of like how we will use numbers in our real life like that, right? So not that. So in this chapter we are going to solve puzzles. Okay. So for solving a puzzle we should have some hints, right? Okay. So two hints will be given to you. So using these two hints you are going to find out the required values using our mathematics. Okay. So guess the chapter name. So already we have discussed this kind of chapter in 9th class. Again we are going to discuss more about this chapter in this class. Okay. So without let us see what is that chapter name is. Yes, your guess is right. That is pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay. So if you see the name of the chapter, see what is that? Pair of linear equations in two variables. What do you mean by pair, children? So pair means we know two, right? Okay. So two linear equations in two variables. In 9th class we have discussed about linear equations in two variables. What did we discuss at that chapter, children? So one situation, how to convert into linear equation, that is what we have seen in 9th class. Here what we are going to do is we have two situations, those two situations we are converting into linear equations. That is why the name of the chapter is a pair of linear equations. Okay. So two situations you will have, those two situations you will convert into linear equations and then find the solution. Okay. So that is what we are going to do in this chapter. Without let us enter into the chapter. Yes. So let us take one puzzle example. See here. Suppose if I have a situation that some pens and pencil were kept in a box. So I told you that there are 10 articles inside this box. So how many pens are there? How many pencils are there? This is my straight question. So immediately what you will think? So pens and pencils together are 10. So you will think in a in trial and error way, right? So what is the trial and error method? Let us see. So first you will think that, so there are only 10 pens, no pencils, right? So you will think that pens are 9 and pencils are 1. So like this you will make a chart of it. Okay. So first sentence is incomplete. I told you there are 10 articles inside your box. There are pencils and pens and all together are 10. So then you will have these many solutions. Suppose then pens and pencils are equal if I say, then what is the solution, children? Straight away you will say that this is my solution, right? There are 5 pens and 5 pencils. So how is this possible? So we have two situations here. One situation is telling that there are 10 articles. The other situation is telling that there are equal number of articles. Pens and pencils are equal. So there are total number of articles are 10. So pens and pencils are equal, hence this is your solution, right? This is your correct answer. Understand? Two situations I have given to you and you have solved this puzzle. Okay, kind of puzzles we are going to solve more in this chapter. Next, see, to solve such puzzles and situations mathematically in this chapter we are going to use it. Okay. So in 9th class already we have studied kind of situation. So how to convert the given situation into linear equation we have already learned. So let us recall that. Okay. So first I told you there are some pens and pencils together 10. Okay. Number of pencils we don't know, number of pens also we don't know. So let us assume that number of pens are x, number of pencils are y. So together means x plus y is equal to 10. Okay. The other situation, see, one more situation I am giving you that the pens are 2 more than the pencils. Number of pens are 2 more than the pencils. That means, see, pens is equal to pencils plus 2, x is equal to y plus 2. These are the two situations we will have, right? So from these two we will solve. How to solve these equations, that we are going to see in other methods. Understand, children? So converting the sentence into our mathematics linear equations is the task in this chapter. Okay. So first situation, you understood now? So sum of articles will be 10. Pens plus pencils is equal to 10. Next situation, the number of pens are 2 more than the pencils. That is what? Pens is equal to pencils plus 2, x is equal to y plus 2. Two equations we got, right? Two situations, two linear equations. Okay. Now let us see this. Let us recall the standard form of your pair of linear equations. Okay, or linear equation in two variable. What is the standard form? Let us see. In 9th class already we have studied the standard form of a linear equation in two variables is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. We have seen already this one. So the same thing here, pair means two linear equations we will take. That is why we will take a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. And the important condition is a1 square plus b1 square is not equal to 0. What do you mean by this, children? So at a time a1 and b1 both should not be 0. Either a1 may be 0 or b1 may be 0, but a1 and b1 together should not be 0. If these two are zeros, then this will not a equation, right? So same way here also. Okay, so a2 square plus b2 square is not equal to 0. This is the standard form of your pair of linear equations. Okay, children. So the kind of example we have taken like pens. Here we will take one situation. Okay, so let us convert this into pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay, so let us see first situation. So Akhila went to a fair in her village. She wanted to enjoy rides on the giant wheel and play hoopla. Okay, here the hoopla game means, suppose in exhibition, village exhibitions, you can see, suppose if they will give you a bunch of rings, you have to throw that ring. So whatever the object is circled, that object belongs to you, right? So that is called hoopla game. Okay, so she want to play two games. What are those? One is giant wheel, the other one is hoopla. Okay, the number of times she played hoopla is half the number of rides she had on the giant wheel. This is the first situation. See what he is telling, the number of times played hoopla. She played some hoopla so many times, that we don't know. Okay, so the relation between the number of games that he played hoopla is half the number of rides on the giant wheel. This is the first situation. Next, if each ride costs rupees 4 and a game of hoopla cost rupees 4. Okay, so what is the cost for giant wheel ride? That is 3 rupees, and the cost of hoopla game is 4 rupees, right? So if Akhila goes to the fair with rupees 20 and wants to have the rides on the giant wheel and play hoopla, represent this situation algebraically and graphically. Okay, so this graphical part we will see later. First of all, we will represent this situation into pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay, so let us discuss the first situation. Here we should understand that two things were unknown. What are those? The number of times she played hoopla and the number of times she ride on giant wheel. These two we don't know, right? So we will assume that whatever unknown things, we will represent them with variables, right? How many variables, children? So this is a linear equation in two variables, so we require two variables. Generally we will take those variables as x and y, right? Right, now I will assume that, so let the number of times ride on giant wheel we will assume as x. Okay, number of times that she ride on giant wheel is x. Next, number of times played hoopla. What is that game? Played hoopla is given as y. Let us assume that it is as y. Now tell me, what is the relation between these two? Okay, so that relation between these two is given one sentence here. So let's underline the sentence. The number of times she played hoopla is half number of times rides she had on giant wheel. This is the first situation. Okay, so the number of times that she played hoopla is half number of rides she had on giant wheel, right? So let us represent this situation according to our algebraically. Okay, so number of times she played hoopla. Number of times she played hoopla is y, that is equal to half number. Half means 1 by 2. Half number of times. Number of times means we need to multiply. Number of times, the number of times that she had ride on the giant wheel, that is x, right? Ride on giant wheel is x, right? So that is 1 by 2 x. Okay. So if I send 2 this side, so it will become 2y is equal to x. This is the first equation. Okay, this is the first equation. Now let us see the second situation. Now see, if each ride costs rupees 3 and a game of hoopla cost rupees 4. So total money how much she had? 20 rupees with her. So the cost of giant wheel per ride is 3 rupees. Suppose she had made 10 times, then what is the cost? 10 into 3, right? 30 rupees. Suppose she had 5 times, then 5 into 3. Suppose she had 4 times, 4 into 3, like that we have to multiply. But how many times she played according to the situation here? She played x times. So x into 3, right? Now, how many times, what is the cost of your hoopla? 4 rupees. How many times she played hoopla? Y times. So total money for that 4y. So together is 20 rupees. Okay. So I will write here. So x times of giant wheel plus y times hoopla is equal to how much, children? That is 20 rupees, because she had only 20 rupees. Now let's write x into 3. So x into 3 plus y into 4, that is equal to 20. So if you write this, 3x plus 4y is equal to 20. This is second equation. Right, children? So we have represented the situations into, how we represented? Into linear equations. How many conditions we have? We have 2 conditions. So 2 conditions we converted into our pair of linear equations in 2 variables. Okay, children? Now let's say example number 2. See, Romila went to a stationery shop and purchased 2 pencils and 3 erasers for rupees 9. Her friend Sonali saw the new variety of pencils and erasers with Romila, and she also bought 4 pencils and 6 erasers of the same kind for rupees 18. Okay. So represent this situation algebraically and graphically. Okay. So graphical part we will see later. So let us see the algebraic part first. Okay. Right. So let us convert these situations into pair of linear equations. Okay. So first of all, what is the first situation? What we don't know here, children, what we have to find, that is what important here. Okay. What we have to find? We have to find the cost of a pencil and cost of each eraser we need to find here. So we don't know these two, so we will represent these two with the help of variables. Okay. First I will write, let cost of one pencil is equal to x rupees and cost of one eraser is equal to y rupees, right? So now let us see the situations, 2 situations. What are those 2? First, Romila, she purchased how many? 2 pencils, 3 erasers for rupees 9, and another situation, her friend Sonali saw the new variety of pencils and erasers with Romila. She also bought 4 pencils and 6 erasers for rupees 18. Okay. So let us convert these into our situations. So I will write first about Romila. Romila, what she purchased, children? Purchased 2 pencils and how many erasers? 3 erasers. What is the total cost she paid? That is rupees 9. But what is the cost of each pencil? We assumed x. So 2 pencils cost will be 2 into x, 3 into each eraser cost we have assumed y. So 3 into y is equal to 9. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. This is what your first situation converted into linear equation. Now let us go for the second situation about Sonali. Sonali purchased how many pencils, children? She purchased 4 pencils. And how many erasers, children? And 6 erasers for rupees 18. So 4 pencils cost. Each pencil cost we have assumed as x. So this will be 4x plus 6 into each eraser cost we have assumed as y. So that will be 6y, that is equal to 18. This is equation number 2. So the two situations we converted into pair of linear equations. Okay.